Sara Schrader joining us from the West Scranton swim team. She's the head coach. And Sara, let's talk about here we are. It's January 2018, so you've had a couple of months to get under your belt with this group of swimmers, and how have they responded with their work ethic?
They're doing really well. Sickness has been a big issue recently with the cold weather and taking some of our swimmers down. But our girls team is one of the bigger teams that we've had thus far. So we have a great big team there. Our boys team unfortunately shrank a little bit with the graduating class and losing our main diver last year. But they're pushing through. We have about 4 or 5 guys right now, so they're working really hard.
Let's talk about just getting them in the pool, getting them together, getting them to work and see what they can do. And I guess when you get new swimmers, they're probably trying new events and different things and broadening their horizons a little bit.
We actually got a lot of new swimmers who didn't even know how to swim most of the strokes this year. So it was a lot of intensive work trying to get basic technique down for some of our core strokes that we could get them to swim in. Same for the boys. We got a couple new boys which are working really hard to pick up the strokes and technique as well. It's been a great year so far for us.
Let's talk a little bit about your experience. Talk about your swimming, whether it was in high school or what have you, and what you bring here to West Scranton.
No problem. I swam. I'm from New York originally, so I swam there competitively for 13 years. I swam for King's College for 2 years, and then unfortunately my shoulders and everything decided it was time for me to stop. So this is how I follow my passion of swimming.
And you talk about the different young ladies that you have on your team. Talk about some strengths on the team this year, whether it's sprinting events, distance events, or some of the relays. What are you hoping to do with the team as the year goes along?
We're hoping to get a lot more qualified in the sprinting events. We're working hard to qualify the girls in the distance events, but right now our best bet is through the sprinting events. For the boys, we kind of have a split events. A lot of them prefer strokes and are working hard on the 500 and working those strokes.
Let's talk about your coaching staff that you have.
Sure. I have my assistant coach is Brad Turry. He is a wrestler turned assistant swim coach, so he works really hard with me, working with fundraising and getting everything set up, and he's actually a really good backbone for the team. The kids really enjoy having him there. And then we have our diving coach, Mangan, and she's working hard with our brand new divers. We have 2 this year. One who was out with, unfortunately, a concussion in the beginning of the season, but is back now and beginning her work, and one who is going to make her diving debut tomorrow against Scranton.
One thing at West Scranton is there's a lot of pride, whether it's academics or athletics. And talk about what you've seen from the Invaders with the pride that they bring to the pool each and every day.
Oh, they love it. They work really hard and tirelessly. There are some days when we just have to take a day and say, hey, if you need to get your homework done, you got to get your homework done. Your academics come first, and then we'll work on your swimming tomorrow. So they really have worked together and formed a family bond through it.
Well, Sara, great to catch up with you and talk about the West Scranton Invaders swim team. We thank you, and have a great 2018.
Thank you. You too.
Jospeh Bruno joining us from the West Scranton Invaders swim team. And Jospeh, let's talk about what you enjoy about the sport of swimming.
Well, I really enjoy having everybody there. It's kind of like a family, more or less. I enjoy the strokes that I can do well, and just kind of everybody hanging out and having fun together.
Come from a big family, so take us through some of your siblings that you have and what they have been up to or what they're up to now.
Well, my brother Michael, he was on the John Mendola show a couple times last year. He's currently diving at St. Bonaventure University. He's doing very well. I have a brother Nick who's out in Florida right now. He's doing well for himself. And my brother Anthony, he's working on that new Kevin Can Wait. He's working on that as a co-producer. He's doing very well.
Awesome. Well, good. That seems that everybody's busy in the family, and that leaves us to you. Let's talk about how you do in the classroom and what kind of student you are first.
Well, I like to think I'm a pretty good student. I keep my grades up, and I try to do my best work I can.
And you really enjoy math. Talk about excelling in that subject.
Well, I've always been real good at math. I'm doing real well in our calculus honors class right now, sitting with the highest grade in our class. So I'm doing very well for myself.
You're a humble guy. You're not real sure of that class rank, but LaSalle or George Mason, a couple of universities that would only be calling if you had the academics to get into them. So talk about what you think you have to offer for both of those schools.
Well, they're both very good schools, both Division I schools, and I think that I can help push them to be better academically as well as help their baseball team out maybe a little bit.
Let's talk about those other sports. Baseball, cross country. You're a busy guy, and how much do you enjoy the game of baseball?
Oh, I love baseball. Baseball has been my passion since I was about 3 years old. I loved it. I don't think I could live without it.
Talk about the positions you play on the ball field.
Well, I play everything, but I like sitting with pitching, and I like playing shortstop as my priority position.
Let's talk about a couple of role models that you look up to.
Well, first off, my father. I've always looked up to my father. But there's a couple guys in baseball that I look up to, with Jimmy Rollins and also Roy Halladay. Bless his soul, rest in peace. But there's a lot of other people that I look up to.
How about as far as the pool, what event would you say your best is, and what events do you compete in?
My best event would have to be my 100 breaststroke. That would easily be my best, but I compete in the 200 medley relay as well as the 200 free relay and the 50 free.
And do you feel like this year is a year you get to districts, you might be able to do some damage there?
Yeah, I think I could. I just got to keep pushing hard, work harder, and we'll see where we get there.
And what will that decision come down to with baseball and that next level for you? Looking at the next few months to make that decision?
Yeah, the next few months will definitely be priorities to make my decision for my future for baseball.
Well, Joseph, Bruno, we appreciate your time. Happy 2018. Keep up the great work in 3 sports, cross country, swimming, and baseball at West Scranton, and keep up the great academic work as well.
Thank you.
Hope Mangan joining us from the West Scranton Invaders swim team here on the John Mendola Show. And hope you're a senior and you are a captain, so you bring some leadership. Talk a little bit about what your swimming career has been like at Westside.
My swimming, I started my freshman year. I've been swimming since the 4th grade, so for 9 years now. It's been incredible. I remember my first year as a freshman. I was the only freshman when I started, so a freshman, and it was very nerve-wracking at first, and then there's so many welcoming people, and I just love swimming for Scranton.
Now you get that chance to be welcoming to other freshmen or sophomores or people just coming out. What's it like for you to be a senior knowing that, boy, that was me just a couple years ago, and I want them to feel like it's okay, this is something fun.
Yeah, I love having the opportunity of giving the same to incoming freshmen. Like my sister Aubrey is a freshman on the swim team, and I just love getting them all hyped up for meets and stuff.
So you get to share that with Aubrey, which is pretty special. You're a senior, she's a freshman. But you also have another sister, Tessa, so I'm sure she probably looks up to both of you. Tell us a little bit about both of your sisters, what they do, and how much fun they are at home.
Me, Aubrey, and Tessa, my sisters, we're all like a swimmer family. We all used to swim for like the sea nights, and
any swimming in the family with the folks or uncles or anybody like that swim? Or
no, it's just the 3 of us. We always like talk about it. Like when swim season starts, it's just all about the swim, like all the meets, and it's just.
How about summertime? Swimming involved much in the summer? Do you have a pool? Do you go to the ocean? Do you involve with a club or anything?
Yeah, during the summer, we always practice over the summer, and like it's just so much fun.
You are pretty darn good in the classroom. You're in the top 10%, which is awesome. So talk a little bit about being an academic young lady and making sure you're working hard there, because that's really what it's all about.
It's a lot to handle with when swim season starts, but I've been doing it since the 4th grade. That I'm so used to it. But it is a lot.
You want to go to college for occupational therapy?
Yes,
do you know if you have a list as to what schools you want to go to yet?
I applied to the University of Scranton, Penn State, Misericordia, and I'm just waiting to hear back from them.
Oh, 3 great schools, so you have some great choices there. You really enjoy English. Talk about what you like about English. Some people are like, man, that is not a subject I enjoy. Why do you like it?
I've always been good at it since I was little. Like I would always be like the top, like in my school for English. Like I was always a good speller, and I'm really good at the subject.
Well, you're pretty fortunate. Spanish Club, National Honor Society. Talk about being involved in some of those clubs and organizations at school and what that means to be a well-rounded person.
For Spanish Club, we would always go on field trips to New York and New Jersey to watch like plays in Spanish, and then afterwards we would go to the mall, and it'd be so much fun to experience that. And then for National Honor Society, I'm so grateful to be accepted into that program, and so many people who are just as smart.
You're doing a great job in the classroom, that's for sure. Let's talk about some role models that you look up to and people that are helping you do the things that you're doing.
One of my biggest role models is my mom, because for swim, she's always supporting me, and even though she wasn't a swimmer, she always wants to push me till I do my best, and I'm just grateful for that.
Well, she's doing a heck of a job with you and your sisters, that's for sure. Hope it sounds like you have a big 2018 plan. We wish you well with the rest of the swimming. Keep those grades going like you are, and best of luck with your college choice.
Thank you so much.